Welcome to the Sherri Johnson Show, the podcast for real estate agents who are ready to stop chasing their next deal and start building a business that provides predictable and consistent monthly income to even double or even triple your income and sales production in less than a year. I'm Sherri Johnson, international real estate coach, speaker, consultant, and the creator of the exclusive Goldmine Pipeline strategy that's helped thousands of agents add over 6 figures to even 7 figures to their bottom line. If you're ready to generate more leads, crush your income goals, and finally play the long game, you're in the right place. Let's dig in. Hey there, and welcome everybody. I'm Sherri Johnson, and this is such an exciting day today. I've got top real estate agent, the top 2 in the nation, the top 2% in Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Atlanta, Krebs with me today. Hi, Brew.
Hey, Sherri, how are you? It's great to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you as always. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with us and share your experience and all this knowledge and these fabulous best practices we're going to talk about right now. You know, Brew, you're part of coaching. You've done that for years. I know you're in the business over 28 years with an unbelievable track record. Some of what you're doing right now, though, agents would probably say, oh, I don't have time for that. And oh, that doesn't get results. And what I know you're doing, which is why I'm so excited to hear and share this podcast with everyone, is that these things are getting results and they're about taking massive action and putting in the time and putting in the work. And we're going to uncover a bunch of those right now. So we're really going to talk today about your video experience and the success you're having with social media, as well as relationship marketing and what that is doing to create more referrals for you. So first off, whichever one you want to talk about first, tell us, what are you doing with social media and your video? Because you are on social media constantly, and it's really fantastic to see it. I think we can tell by your set behind you that you've got an awesome set right there within your office.
I do. I have a mobile set right here in my office. That's actually a green screen that pulls down. The social media presence has been phenomenal, and it's really important to keep engaged with your audience and also continue to engage with them when they comment on your videos and stuff like that. It's been a great opportunity to brand myself and to stay top of mind with so many people, where it's easy to get lost in this world right now, especially with everything that's going on in the real estate market. And being super consistent with it, that has been incredibly good, because not everybody watches one particular video, but they're seeing the little pieces. They're like, oh man, yeah, you're that guy that does all the videos. I mean, we recently went from 2,500 people on our Instagram to almost 25,000. And a lot of it has to do with creating reels and short videos. We create long ones on YouTube, then break them down into smaller videos, basically with AI software, where we put them on as reels in different spots on the internet. So you're really taking the one piece of content and turning it into a bunch of other pieces of content.
So repurposing, that saves you time. It gets used as a long form. It gets used as short form. That's awesome. And so a lot of agents have a really hard time. I feel like it either comes totally naturally to an agent to be in front of a camera, like I feel like it does for you and I. I mean, I was on TV in college, and you know, that's what I do for a living. I'm in front of a camera doing videos. But if you could tell an agent how to get over that fear of getting in front of a camera, because I try to do it, and it's like I say, you sound exactly like you sound in person. What could you say to the agents and viewers listening right now?
The only person who cares what you look and sound like on your video is you. Nobody else cares how you look or sound. They're listening to what you have to say. And nobody thinks they're any good, especially in the beginning. I mean, oh my God, some of my first videos are so bad. I keep them just to remind myself how bad they were. But it was a place to start from. And once you get the hang of it and you're more comfortable in front of the camera, it's really, really easy. And nobody remembers those bad mistakes as long as you don't do something horrifically horrible, which nobody's going to do on their videos anyway. Nobody remembers if you make a little mistake or you say the wrong word or something like that. They're more interested in your content, and over time, you're just going to get better and better. It just gets easier.
Oh, that's such great advice. And it really, you're right. It's the content they want to hear about. They know you're authentic and real because you're not retaking and perfecting the video anyway. So everyone listening, it's just a matter of just jumping in the deep end and saying, I'm going to learn how to do video and I'm going to start doing it. And, even before we started coaching, I followed you and I would watch your videos and I would think, this guy is awesome. This is the kind of stuff that keeps you front and center. And then people tell you, I feel like I know you because I watch your videos and I hear you talk, and it just really is about doing it.
I've been recognized getting on an airplane before. Guys like, oh my God, you're Brew Krebs, the guy that shoots the videos. I was like, really? You see these? And it was not any that I was friends with on Facebook or anything. It was totally random. I mean, but it's happened in several places. And it really gives you an upper hand of them knowing you before they know you. And even if they're not really watching your videos, they're seeing you, visually and moving with some sound enough times that they feel like they know you. You see it, even if they're not really paying attention, which, everybody's bombarded, but they're still seeing you and feeling your essence and, getting a sense of, I know that guy.
And you said a word earlier that I think is really extremely important to repeat, which is consistency.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently putting up video. When I talk to you in our regular coaching calls, you say to me, I'm shooting video on these days and times. Like, I know it is booked in Brew Krebs' calendar.
It is.
To shoot the video because you have it as a priority. It's not like, oh, if I get to it. You actually have such great intentional purpose that you have it as an appointment with yourself. I think that's awesome. All right. So what kind of content are you giving people when you do these videos?
One of the things that we recently started doing is interviews with other agents, with real estate lenders, with people like recently interviewed Andy Beal, who's an expert in the 30A beach market down there with Jimmy Burgess and all them. I recently interviewed Ben Jasek, who is a mountain expert right out of Nashville. People like that. I interviewed Missy Kofod this morning. She's a real estate and creatives attorney. So basically talking to those people, those are great contents. I'm doing a lot about, what are the reasons why you don't want to move to Atlanta, Georgia? What are the 10 pros and cons of moving to Atlanta? Why is Midtown better than Decatur? What's the difference between Buckhead and Midtown? Those types of evergreen videos are a lot of what we shoot. And of course, market updates. I mean, and it's so easy now with the RPR software to do the market updates. I mean, basically, I flip the thing out. I jump in front of the camera. I read the stuff off. Sometimes I do a quick 90-second video for my reels on Facebook, and then I do like a 3-minute video for YouTube. But those are people really love those. And, they're really short, really easy. If you can put it into a reel, and like I said, I think we mentioned this before, is repurposing the videos, taking the longer videos and dropping them in a service like Video AI. That'll cut them up into little segments and tell you which ones are even the ones that are better to put out there, but by a weighted number. It gives you a tremendous amount of content. And the more content that you put out, the more people will see your content. Because the algorithms like for you to put more video content out there. So the more that you put, I recently pushed it up to 3 to 4 videos a week, and I can tell a difference in my YouTube watch time tremendously.
And so you mentioned you have a YouTube.
At Brew Krebs.
Okay, so your YouTube channel. So everybody, first of all, go watch Brew's YouTube channel.
Check him out.
And why I want you to do that too is you can obviously send him all of your Atlanta referrals as well. So YouTube, most people don't know who owns YouTube, right?
Well, it's Google. I mean, it's a Google search engine.
So you've got evergreen. What does that mean? We teach evergreen videos. They last. They will have a shelf life of forever. You're not putting the date and time on them. You're actually creating some content that will be forever evergreen and live and be housed at the YouTube portal or channel or app or whatever it's called. Now, let me ask you this. So are you doing any landing pages for organic lead generation?
Yes.
Part of it.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing now is we just really started this with KVCore because that's one of the things that since the business is not moving in rapid fire succession like it has been in the last few years, we've been taking the time to go through our CRM systems and make sure that they're running really, really perfectly, making sure that everybody's categorized, that everybody's in a system that they're supposed to be in, that we're following up with them because it's not as easy to do this when you're super busy because you're distracted in a million different ways. And it's kind of hard to understand all the capacity of the CRM, whether it's KVCore, Salesforce, or whatever it is that you're using. And so what we're doing is we are creating landing pages that are taking people to a specific file. For example, if they're looking for foreclosures or they're looking for a relocation package or something along that lines, they can go on there. We're creating a YouTube commercial. It's being marketed within 15 miles of my zip code, and they can go in there, they can click on the link, they can put in their name and information, and they can immediately get a download for like for a relocation package or for what we've got coming up with just the foreclosure list stuff that's coming up. And it also captures all their information so we can put them in our CRM. And there again, keeping up with that CRM, it's amazing how effective it is once you really start to get it to roll the way it's supposed to. And it's probably one of the most underutilized tools in the real estate business, and probably one of the most important ones that we should be using.
Yeah, because every single coaching member that we work with, I mean, I had a CRM. I categorized buyer leads of every level, seller potential listing leads of every level, past clients that are really clients, and then being able to send those people specific, unique information tailored to their group instead of being all 2,500 people or all 5,000 people. So number one item on your task list, everybody, is update that CRM, put in the time to do it. You'll be happy. You'll have this list forever. And now you can actually mine that database. And, I've called the CRM a continuous referral machine. That's what I like to call it.
Great word for it.
Because it really is where you can mine all of those contacts. They know you, they love you, they trust you, they use you, they refer you. And so if you're not doing landing pages, many of your CRMs and websites come with the ability to create a custom landing page. Most agents don't know this. Check with your companies, because many of them have that ability, and you can create a landing page very quickly, even if it doesn't come with your CRM. What are some of the things you're doing for relationship marketing? I know you use our product that we promote, Send Out Cards.
I love Send Out Cards.
Yeah, so tell us about that. I have one right here on my table.
Well, I sent you another one that I had to resend because I had the wrong address. But the Send Out Cards are fantastic because they make a very cool, personalized way to connect with the people, especially if you have a photograph of them. And you can do it there at your app. Like, for example, when I went to the conference in Hawaii, every time I would meet somebody, hey, I'd take a picture with them, and I'd sit down right there. I'd throw a send out card right to their office, their address on their card. And every single person that I met at that conference, I have continued to keep up with. In fact, I did 2 videos with 2 of them already in the last month, just because we started to connect and we started to, know each other. And same thing with my office staff. I send them cards. I send everybody's getting Christmas cards, personal personally addressed to their name, specifically written to them this year. So we're doing it much more, and we're going to be doing it regularly, pretty much 10 a day, every day.
Well, and I'm just going to say, you're doing 10 cards a day that are relationship built. And are they all photo cards?
No. Now, right now, we're just doing a holiday card, okay? So it's got like, Dear Susan, here's our holiday message, from Brew. And then in January, or at the end of this month, we'll have them all coming out. Hey, Happy New Year. I hope you have a wonderful 2024, whatever year this is coming up.
Yeah.
And then in February, we'll say something, hope you have a great Valentine's Day or something along those lines. And I've just got my assistant going through and doing these for me much of the time.
Right. So it's really, once you get it started, and it's a very simple, I'll put it in the
once you get your database.
Yeah. Get the database.
Once you get your database in there, it's like you just click, and it's out there, and you sent them a card that's personally addressed to them with their information, their name, and you signed it or whatever it is. And it means so much more than one of those postcards. You're like, Bruce sent me another postcard here. In fact, I have one right here, but Bruce sent me another postcard, but the send out card comes in a nice envelope with your name. And I've made mine more specifically personal, so that it doesn't say Berkshire Hathaway. It's just, hey, it's from Brew. Bruce sent me a message.
I love it. And, those are keepers. People will, especially the ones that you're doing that have the photo.
Especially with the card.
Yeah. The custom built card with a picture. I just saw you did something fabulous on Facebook with the pets. How many people did you get on that? Because I know I put mine on there.
So I got about 25 people. Of those people so far, I have addresses for 11 of them.
Yes.
So I've got to figure out some of the other ones, but we're in process. And those are the cards I do on Saturdays because my assistant is working the cards Monday through Friday.
Great.
So yeah, so it helps. It's another layer of ways to connect with somebody.
Yeah, just to clarify, you put a post on Facebook with give me a picture of your favorite pet, right? Was it? I don't think I'm saying that right.
I said, I posted my dog and my cat sitting there next to each other. I said, hey, give me some fur love, baby. Show me a picture of your fur baby. And they're posting their cats and their dogs and whatever, and you've got all their information, and it's a great way to connect.
And then you DM them for their personal information if you don't have it, and it's easy. That's an easy ask to people. I'm going to send you something. I know that, and that card can be created. You take each picture from the comments and make that into a postcard or a fold-over card. Just different ways to show. I call it wow value, surprise value. People don't expect these things, and they make an impact. And again, your logo's on the back. Contact me if ever the market to buy, sell, or invest, and that's going to be working really, really, really well. So. I'm going to ask you about your you do events, client appreciation events, and you do them really well. And I know you had a really successful 4th of July event on a rooftop. Can you tell us about that?
Fortunately, my loft is a great spot. It sees like 4 fireworks shows, and I have a rooftop terrace, so it's 2 stories, and we've got a really cool view. So I generally have my 4th of July party there, and everybody loves to come. And it's a loft, so you can have fun and nobody has to worry about anything. And if they spill their drinks, it doesn't matter. And we all have a great time. We relax and just laugh. And it's a great opportunity to connect with my folks, especially at that time of the year.
So how did you, how many people, did you invite people? What was the criteria? Did you just invite anybody? What was the kind of thought process?
Well, I sort of have a group that I normally invite. Most of them are they'd be what you'd call your SLIPC group, which is your past clients and your sphere of influence, all that are here in Atlanta. And I pretty much invite all of them, and I invite several of my friends because I consider they were in my sphere, right? And I just invite everybody and say, hey, come on over. I provide barbecue and drinks, and we just have a great time, and everybody watches the fireworks, and my dogs love it, and so it's a lot of fun.
And then before and after, did you do a send out card with pictures from the event? Did you send them a follow up? Thanks for coming. How did you communicate with them?
I had just started with the send out cards. I wasn't quite as good at them yet at that point, but I did send out about 10 cards for photos. I was not as good at taking the pictures of that particular party because it was the first one I'd done by myself without my partner. So I was managing a lot of the other stuff, but it actually was the most successful one that I've ever had. And I guess next year we might add on to not either have a photographer again, which is what I did. I think the last year, I think I had a professional photographer, which was probably the better route to go.
So you could enjoy mingling and talking to your guests and so on.
And they'll remember to take the pictures. When you're mingling and talking to your guests, you forget to take pictures because you're talking and thinking about other stuff. So it's like the thought of the picture kind of fades out of your mind sometimes.
So I want to talk about your discipline. You have a very disciplined schedule. You didn't know I was going to ask you this question, but when I think of Krebs, and I've been coaching you, and we've been with each other for a while here, I know that you time block. I know that you have a workout schedule. I know that you time block the activities. I think a lot of agents play a lot of defense every day and every week, meaning they're doing what's coming at them. What's the crisis of the moment? And they don't, we all suffer this, but some worse than others. So what advice can you give people about managing their day and how to really time block activities that are going to create more relationships, more opportunities to put on Gold Mine Pipeline, for example, or how to, sit down and have a plan to execute to get appointments and then manage that. So, because everybody likes to hear about a person who does really well with managing their time, I pretty much know your schedule, right? Just after, many months or whatever, almost a year.
I'm very systematic.
But you get to a point where it's like you have this regimented schedule. You said the word consistency. Most salespeople don't like a schedule. They don't like consistency. It's hard to get into that behavior. How do you keep yourself so disciplined all the time?
Well, actually, if you time block the stuff, you will find that you have a lot more time than you did when you were dealing with it all at one time, when it was all, whenever it was coming at you, because you're focused on things and you really solve the problems at hand rather than having 50 problems at hand that you're freaking out about. You're solving a few problems here, a few problems here, a few problems here. So it's like that lesson a day in 365 days is 365 lessons, right? So it's just the consistency and continuation. And I don't have those. I mean, rarely ever do you see me, oh my God, I'm going to miss this appointment, or, this is not going to happen, or this is later. That really never happens to me because there are specific times. And I also come into the office before everybody else. In fact, Gloria mentioned that the other day. I'm always the first person in the office. And being there before everybody else when it's quiet and you can plan your day, you can get, even if it's just an hour. I normally about 2 hours or so before anybody else. But it gives you the opportunity to do all of those things that all those other agents are coming in at 10 o'clock or whatever and just starting. And you're so far ahead of them that when they're panicking, you're, ready to kick back a martini.
You're really, really, I would say you're very intense and driven, but you're very calm, and you have you have a methodical and very pragmatic. You make a list and then you do it. And I think it's hard. People want coaching and they don't want to do the work, and you have to be willing to execute and put in things into action, and even if you're not sure about it. So
it seems hard, but once you get the system down, it makes every single other thing easier.
And you said systems multiple times today during this interview. I also see whiteboards behind you that are visual and that are still on the wall. And in an era of high electronics and apps for everything, and everything's on the computer, how do you combine technology apps with sort of the older methodologies that we've used over the last 30 years?
The older ones are the ones that are really hot, so that I need to be talking to on a regular basis. Okay. That I need to see all the time. I mean, because let's face it, we are bombarded with like 5 billion things every single day. And if it's a post-it note or even a little drop in your CRM, the people who are really, really at the top might not get touched as much as they need to get touched. So I have them on the board so that I literally cannot walk in here without seeing who they are and say, oh, I did not call so and so, or, this hasn't been done. So then I feel guilty and I make the call. There's no way to miss it when their name is written on the wall.
I love it. And you predominantly list or work with buyers? What's the makeup?
It's predominantly list, although right now it seems like the buyer pool is bigger than the listing pool. So I'm swimming in both pools, and I don't mind that. I've done it for a long time. My buyers are all looking very hard right at the first of the year, anticipating lower rates, but I don't know that they're going to be happy with what happens to prices when rates go up. So, right. So they may be quite disappointed at what they come up with, but unfortunately, that is the choice of a lot of folks right this moment.
And then would you say that, your strategies because you're always so positive, you put in hours of work, you also work hard, play hard. I think you have that's kind of your thing, and you get to travel and you get to connect with people. I before we go, I do want to touch on something intentional that you've done, which is connect with real estate agents across the country.
Absolutely.
So would you share kind of how you're doing that and how to put something like that into place?
Well, I mean, the conferences are the best place to start. Like when we were in Omaha and when we were in Hawaii, I mean, that's where I met the most amount of people, and I did the send out cards and connected with them. So, and then, I follow up with them. Like I say, 2 of them I've already done podcast interviews with myself. And it's a great way to connect. I've also created a real estate agent newsletter that goes out every other week that's specific for real estate agents, reminds them to refer to me, and also gives them a couple of tips, of what I've learned or what's new in the marketplace. Because oddly enough, for some reason, the people in my office seem to think that I'm technologically savvy, and I don't see it. But apparently I'm extremely swift with the technology. So I figure I don't mind sharing that information. So I put out stuff and try to keep in touch with them, keep that twice a month touch, trying to go reach through them. We went through LinkedIn and reached out to everybody for podcasts and stuff like that. Just trying to find different places to talk to people about real estate. Some of them are not in my field, which is just fine.
That's awesome. And I love the newsletter to real estate agents. Talk about being top of mind and having them on the podcast. And I know you launched a podcast, which is just an outstanding, outstanding thing to do. What would you say to someone who's trying to build their business right now, build a pipeline of leads? What advice would you give them? The top two things that you would tell them to do?
Get out there and talk to people, whether it's at open houses or networking events or realtor conventions or neighborhood parties or Christmas parties or a New Year's party or whatever it is. Get out there and talk to people. The more people that you talk to, the more you're going to connect with. Some people aren't, I always tell everybody, there's going to be some people that you won't connect with, and that's okay. Don't get upset about the ones that you don't. Be happy about the ones that you do. Connecting with people is the number one thing. And number two, you're going to have to put more work in right now than it was the same situation the last 2 or 3 years. It's been, it's just been thrown at you. Well, it's about to be a different world. It's really kind of already a different world when you're looking at real estate, and you need to grind in and put put the systems in place, do the work, be systematic about it, and be consistent. Don't say, oh my God, that didn't work that one time, and quit, because no, it doesn't work that one time. But once you've done it like 20 times, it works, and then it pays you big time.
That is fantastic advice. Fantastic advice. And, how can people get a hold of you? Could you give us your ways to get in touch? I know brewkrebs.com.
Yeah, brewkrebs.com. Brew@brewkrebs.com is the easiest way to reach me by email. My phone number, of course, 404-984-0243. You can, of course, text or call me anytime that you want to do that. I love to talk on the phone. So you can always do that. Or any of my social medias, they're all at BrewKrebs.
Fabulous. Brew, I'd love to have you back on. If we can have you back on the podcast, it is proof positive that when you play the long game, you will have short game success every single month, and your success just keeps getting better and better. We love having you as part of Sherri Johnson Coaching, and we're looking forward to great things with you. And what a wealth of knowledge you just gave everybody in this short amount of time. It's 26 minutes. What a fantastic interview. I can't thank you enough. I can't wait to see you again, and we'll have you back on. And again, for everyone, Atlanta real estate right here, you're talking to him, Brew Krebs. Send all your referrals to him and connect with him now. You never know when he's going to send a referral out to you as well. So, Brew, thanks again, and to your success. And we'll see you again back on Sherri Johnson Podcast soon.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks for tuning in to the Sherri Johnson Show. If today's episode gave you a breakthrough or an aha moment, please take action. And don't forget, you can grab your free download of the Sherri Johnson Goldmine Pipeline in the link below and start seeing results right away. Want even more personalized support? Book a free strategy call with our team, or check out our coaching program starting at just $49 a month at sherrijohnson.com. Remember, it takes 5 contacts to get a yes, but with the right strategy, you can get there faster. Let's turn your potential into profits. I'm Sherri Johnson, and I'll see you next week.